Well, it's a very warm welcome back to second half independent off-tube studio commentary. The game at Olympiako Stadio Spyros Louis in Athens is just about ready to restart. Bit of a delay here as well. We only had 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half, so really we should have been underway around 5 minutes ago, but for a combination of reasons took a little bit longer for our Italian referee Simone Sosa to restart play. Just to tell you as well, there was a little bit of shenanigans just after the half-time whistle as well, and it took the referee a minute or two to come on that down, so maybe that explains why it took a little bit longer. But Rangers trying to get on the attack straight away here at the start of the second half. They need to do more going forward. They have of course got a 2-0 lead in this game. Well, in this game, but in the tie, I should say. They won the first leg 2-0 back in Glasgow. And straight away, as this ball goes down the left-hand side, Nick Raskin has won his side a throw in an attacking position, so fair play to him for that. But he's hit the deck, and he's actually hit the deck, gone off the field, so play can resume without him. The Rangers medical staff have just come across to the midfielder to see if he's all right. But we're going to see a throw here to Rangers on the left-hand side, taken by Max Aarons. It's myself, Paul Szczerbakowicz, and Del Russo taking it through the action. I'll get Del sorted in a second, because it is Rangers on the attack. A ball going in towards the penalty area. It was Pereira who tried to keep it in play, but then he could see that Kosiras was coming towards him, and it's going to be a corner kick to Rangers. A good start.
Yeah, it's a very good start, and of course Raskin did go down, and intentionally or not, he was off the pitch, so play got back underway, but he tried to come back onto the pitch without the medical team intervening. He wasn't allowed to do that though by Simone Sosa. He is now back on the pitch, of course, for the corner kick to be taken. Yeah,
it's going to be a right-footed in-swinger from the left-hand side from Joe Rothwell. Plenty to aim for inside that penalty area as well. Referee just doing a little bit of housekeeping inside the 6-yard box, but it is Rothwell's ball in towards the back post. Oh, he tried to get a leap on that one, did Harry Suter, but the Aussie in the end couldn't quite get the elevation that he wanted. Out for a goal kick. Just to remind you, Bartłomiej Drągowski is on goal for Panathinaikos. A back four of Giannis Kosiras, Eric Palmer-Brown, Ahmed Tuba, and Georgios Kyriakopoulos. The two holder midfielders are Nemanja Maksimovic and Pedro Chiravella. The three ahead of them are Facundo Pelistri, Anastasios Bakasetas, and Filip Juricic, with Fotis Ioannidis as the frontman for Panathinaikos. For Rangers, it is Jack Butland in goal, a back four of James Tavernier, Harry Suter, Nasser Dija, and Max Aarons. The three across the middle are Joe Rothwell, Mohamed Diamande, and Nicholas Raskin, with Kieran Dow, Finley Curtis, and Danilo Pereira as the attacking mid. There was a bit of a break in play. There was a Panathinaikos man down.
Yeah, Panathinaikos just they had the ball, and then of course a reckless challenge, and maybe a stud to the back of the foot, but no real malice behind the challenge, and well, he's back up and back underway.
Yeah, we're back underway. Ball played back towards Drągowski, the Panathinaikos keeper. Then it's with Palmer-Brown up towards the half line. Lovely turn there from Bakasetas. He does have a really easy way on the ball when he's in his full flow, and it's out towards the left-hand side. Nice control there from Kyriakopoulos. Gets to the edge of the area, wants the ball back. He's into the penalty area. Was he tripped? They are looking towards the referee, and Simone Sosa, for the time being, not interested. The ball is back in the arms of Jack Butland. That was a decent build-up there from Panathinaikos, and certainly a question being asked of the referee.
Yeah, certainly a question being asked, but of course, knowing the way this referee's acted in this game and what he's given as a foul and not given as a foul, I can imagine it's only
he's
more
fallen
strict
there, I think. In fairness, Kyriakopoulos, I don't think there was much contact with him at all, so referee has got it right on this occasion. Suter under pressure just flicks the ball out for a throw to Panathinaikos down the right-hand side, still deep inside Rangers territory. Is Giannis Kosiras to restart with this throw. It's that ball in towards Chiravella under pressure, back towards the halfway line here now for Ahmed Tuba. Over towards the left-hand side, Kyriakopoulos and Juricic getting involved. It's back to Kyriakopoulos now. He flicks that ball in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, but it's a good covering header there, putting it out for a corner kick. The header coming in there from I think it was Dowell in the end.
Yeah, Dowell doing very well, as he has done in this game, to track back and make sure he doesn't leave his defence a man down. And it looks like it will be Juricic to take the goal corner kick.
Yeah, it's going to be an in-swinger here from Juricic. He's got options, but he chooses a short ball in, then he gets it back. Then it's played back towards Kyriakopoulos, who then tries to get a ball into the box. Is charged down by Pereira, who actually wins the ball back here for Rangers. Tries to force the throw, and it works. So in the end, for all the good deliveries we've seen for Panathinaikos, that was a wasted corner.
Yeah, not the best delivery there from Juricic. Of course, he tried to play it short, and maybe something off of the training ground we've seen here, but it certainly hasn't gone the way that they planned it to go.
No, it wasn't quite right there in the end. Out for a throw to Rangers. Rangers won't care, of course. They're 40 minutes away now from getting through this two-legged tie as things stand. But from their point of view, they still need to score. The away goals, of course, that's a whole equation's been taken out of football these days. But the fact is that if Panathinaikos score, this crowd is suddenly awake, and all of a sudden Rangers quite naturally going to start backing off even more. So the longer they can keep Panathinaikos at nil, the better.
Yeah, it certainly seems to be the case. And I think, of course, the manager, Russell Martin, he understands that. He knows that if Panathinaikos, as you said, get that first goal, everything changes. And if Rangers get that first goal, well, I can only imagine Panathinaikos coming forward even more.
Out for a throw here to Rangers then after Tuba with a bit of a shank to clearance. And it's going to be taken here by Tavernier on the right-hand side. Of course, the Scottish League season will be getting underway this weekend. Rangers, of course, hoping to get their campaign off to a winning start, but the ball now played back towards goalkeeper Jack Butland, just under a little bit of pressure there, having to move out towards the left-hand side. And suddenly it's opening up for Rangers here on the left. It's with Raskin. He's got support there with Curtis. Just checks back though and goes into the middle here for Diamande. It opens up for Diamande. Doesn't want to shoot though. Just lays it off here for Dow. Dow being stood up as well, going back towards the edge of the area here for Tavernier. Tavernier just crowded out, and in the end Rangers are caught in possession, and all of a sudden it could be a counter-attack here for Panathinaikos as that ball is played towards Ioannidis, but he was forced to go out wide. Suter is coming back there with him, and it's a good shoulder-to-shoulder there before eventually the ball comes off. Has it come off Suter or has it come off Ioannidis? But in any case, Rangers there in attack and very quickly having to come back and defend. Yeah,
poor mistake there from Tavernier. Thought he had more time on the ball than he actually did, and it's not a mistake you see much of the Rangers captain. And of course he'll learn from that and almost put even more effort into defending his mistake. But again, they've been saved by the poor execution of the pass. From a Panathinaikos perspective, the pass in towards Ioannidis needed to be better, almost curve in towards him and allow him to run onto it, but instead it forced him out wide and they get a throw in.
They do, and they're trying to force the issue on the right hand side now. In the end, just a bit too much pressure there on Palistri, so he's going back towards the halfway line. Just to finish that point I was making earlier, it was away to Motherwell. That will be the start of Rangers' Scottish Premier League campaign. And they are away to Motherwell in an evening kick-off on Saturday, and I can tell you that game will be on our service. But back to the action this evening. There's some defending for Rangers to do here, as there was for long spells in the first half. But it's sort of midfield and edge of the box defending. There hasn't actually been that much of a scramble inside the penalty area for Rangers so far. Panathinaikos perhaps struggling to make those chances, but they've got a chance now with Kostiras. He goes all the way towards the corner flag on the right-hand side, just been stood up there by Max Aarons. Plays that ball back towards the edge of the area. Here's Bakasetas. Bakasetas in towards Shiravella. Now Kostiras and Bakasetas exchange passes. It's a left-footed ball. It's a good ball as well. It's a great chance. Oh, it's a miss by Butland, and it's in the back of the net. It's a very, very slow header, but it looks like Juricic is in an offside position when that ball is headed in towards goal. So very, very short celebrations for Panathinaikos there. Literally a matter of 2 or 3 seconds before everybody on the field realised that goal is not going to stand. But we'll see first of all if it's the right decision. It's nowhere near the right decision, is it?
No, it certainly doesn't look like he's offside. And just looking again at the mistake of Jack Butland, surely an intervention.
Well, I can only assume, as I say, we're so sort of spoilt with VAR. Do they have VAR in this game? I think they do. The referee is now just waiting for confirmation, so there is actually VAR. I wasn't too sure initially because it seemed like they decided that the goal was offside, but from that one replay we've seen, Dale, that he's nowhere near offside, is he?
No, it certainly doesn't seem to be the case. If you're looking at the defenders that are around him for the easy lineup, of course he's well and truly a yard behind the centre half, but the issue is the two players trying to box in the throw-in on the near side. Well, they're a little bit deeper, not really in line with that, of course, offside trap almost that was set. And
no, this is taking too long for my liking. I think that if the VAR is checking this, they should have already seen clearly that there is an offside, unless there's some sort of shoulder somewhere that we've not seen that potentially might just change things. But I think the referee's going to do a little box with his hands, and he's going to signal that Rangers have conceded this evening, and that puts things in a very different light because it's only 9 minutes into this second half. So if this goal is given, all of a sudden Rangers are under real pressure.
Yeah, they certainly will be. Panathinaikos, if they do get that first goal, which I agree should have been given, Djuricic head in hands, almost praying that it's given. Of course, he can't see what we've seen, but if Panathinaikos do get the goal given, well, it'll certainly set themselves up for an exciting final 30 minutes.
I still can't understand why this is taking so long. It really is a very, very long VAR check here. It's almost like they've got English Premier League refs doing it, for considering how long it's taking. But I just think it's a matter of time before they confirm that the goal is going to be given. But why is this taking so long?
It's certainly a question to ask the officials. I thought it was quite clear to see that Djuricic had timed his run well in line with the fullbacks on the near side, and Butland, of course, he made a mess of it. He thought he was going the wrong way, and then he was wrong-footed because of that. But even then he had an opportunity to get the ball again. He swiped at it and missed, and it almost just rolled into the far corner. I think, of course, our camera angles and view of the goal, it almost looked off target, but once it nestled into the corner.
As I say, not to sort of repeat myself, because and also it's a fair point. I mean, Butland made a terrible mistake of that. He was caught very flat-footed. That ball was sort of going into the back of the net in slow motion, but the keeper couldn't quite react. But yeah, I mean, this is if anyone's heard me doing regular commentary on our Premier League games, you'll know that I'm always complaining about goals taking far too long to be given. The goal has been given, but it should have been given around 3 minutes ago. It was so obvious that player wasn't offside. And now we can see the flares are going up, the flags are going up. The Panathinaikos crowd here in Athens have woken up, and it's a question of whether that's going to wake up Rangers, because now they've got over half an hour to try and get through without conceding again. And as far as Panathinaikos are concerned, they'll feel they've got enough time not just to level the tie, but to try and win it in normal time.
Yeah, it certainly looks to be the case, and we're going to replay the goal again, and it looks like it is number 3, Ahrens, and
arguably you could say Ndija as well. I mean, it's not even close to being offside. The biggest issue for me here is Butland. I think that he's not expecting that ball to... He's sort of misjudged where the ball's going. He thinks it's going to be headed straight at him, so he's sort of ready to save it, and then suddenly, oh goodness me, and he's sort of diving to get it in the corner. But it's to say, it looks easy on a replay, but once that keeper's flat-footed in that split second, it's very difficult to adjust.
Yeah, it certainly is, and of course, Butland, he does eventually get a fingertip to the ball, but he can't do much more than almost just usher it further into the goal from the angle he's at. He's caught maybe 1-2 steps off of his line, but the power on the header wasn't there, but the placement certainly was, and we've got word of the first substitution in this game.
Absolutely, yeah. We're going to get a change for Rangers. It's a change in the midfield. It looks like Gasimar is on here to replace Finley Curtis. So interesting one, that really. I think he obviously feels Russell Martin as though Gasimar is perhaps just going to have that little bit more experience, but Rangers have been caught in possession in midfield, and here come Panathinaikos now on the charge down the right hand side across the 6-yard box, and that is inches away from it being 2-2 in the tie. It was played across from the right hand side. Great run there from Pelistri, and it wasn't too far away. Was this the Djuricic getting on the end of this one as well? Just see here is he actually started the run here, Djuricic. Go over on the right hand side this time. The ball into the box was in for Ioannidis, but he couldn't get his foot to it.
Yeah, it's a good ball in from Djuricic, putting in that middle space where Butland has to question himself whether or not he wants to commit to getting the ball, and it seemed like Butland had decided not to do that and almost sprawl himself across the goal and smother it out if Ioannidis does get a touch. Of course, he was unable to do so. The outstretched leg just shy of the ball.
Absolutely, but this is a bit of a problem now for Rangers, that's for sure, because now that the tails are up here for Panathinaikos, you're going to expect the home side to really go for it, but that, of course, could work in Rangers' favour as well. If Panathinaikos lose their head and send too many players forward, or a bit loose in possession, that may give Rangers a chance to get forward. But we'll see this replay again. I mean, you can see there, I mean, it's not even, although saying that, I mean, looking at that offside line, it's actually closer than what it looked like to the naked eye. But we go back to live picture as Raskin charges down the left. He gets the ball into the box, and it's Pereira's strike from a tight angle, charge down, second effort, and then it drops to Gassama. Oh, what a substitution that is. Deji Gassama has been on the field for less than 60 seconds, and he scores for Rangers to restore their 2-goal lead. And that's a lively travelling support there from Glasgow. Absolutely loving it.
Yeah, Gassama with a wonderful finish there. Could even be his first touch of the ball. I didn't see him too much in build-up. Of course, we didn't get a picture of the build-up in the play. Panathinaikos players and Rangers players all kicking off now as Gassama, well, he celebrates in the corner. And of course, the Rangers fans, they'll be ecstatic about that. The Rangers side will be ecstatic as well. What looked like a panicky 30 minutes to come for Rangers, and Martin Russell's side is now, they're back with their 2-0 lead.
Absolutely, yes, as this ball was played across. Great run there from Raskin. And then as Pereira, he does what a striker should do. He has 2 efforts a goal, both are well saved. But the finish from Gassama is fabulous. I mean, he's got to navigate that strike through so many different players.
He certainly does. And not only that, the ball's coming to him at an awkward speed, an awkward height as well. So many players can't get themselves over that ball. Gassama, he fires it into the far right side, around the 2 players, in off the post. Of course, he's helped by that, but it just means it's an even better finish.
Massive goal that for Rangers. That's going to quieten down this Athens crowd after they just got up a couple of minutes ago for that first goal of theirs. Big goal that's though for Gassama. Big one. I think Gassama's over-celebrated that goal as well. He's got himself a yellow card. So a very lively few minutes here for the Rangers sub. He comes off the bench and gets himself a yellow card, having just scored as well. But in the meantime, it looks like Bakasetas has picked up a yellow card. That may well be just for some back chat to the referee. He's been angling for that yellow card and for that dissent really most of the evening. Always a bit of a collision there. Rangers want a free kick. That's what we've got to watch out for as well. Now, it could just get a little bit more physical if Panathinaikos don't start getting things their own way fairly quickly, as Ioannidis is caught in possession just at the edge of the Rangers penalty area. Now Raskin finding Gassama, who's on the run, playing the ball back to Raskin. It's not the best ball. Easily it should be Palmer Brown who gets there first, and he is. He goes back to Drongowski, who then clears it up towards the halfway line, where it's taken down here by Ndija. Played forward now, Tavernier down the right-hand side. Dowell playing it back in towards Tavernier. Just holding on to it inside now towards Diamande. All of a sudden it's Rangers now with a spring in their step.
Yeah, Rangers certainly the side more comfortable on the ball, and well, Panathinaikos, they finally got their moment of clarity where they got the ball in the net, and of course the delayed reaction as well. I mean, it took over 4 minutes to get play back underway after the ball had crossed the goal line, of course, and Panathinaikos now, from absolute ecstasy and belief that they could get back into this game, all the way back to square one.
All the way back to square one, and as I say, if this was in the era of away goals, that would be an even more massive goal for Rangers, of course, because it would force Panathinaikos to have to get another 3 just to try and advance in the tie. That, of course, has been taken away, but it's still a tall order now, you feel. Panathinaikos need to score twice more just to force extra time, and Rangers will feel as though the home side are going to open up as much as that, then maybe they'll get more chances, as Raskin now trying to force the ball out towards Gassama on the right-hand side. That's good work, though, from Palmer Brown to win the ball back for Panathinaikos. And now a huge, great raking ball here from Pedro Chiravella out towards the edge. That's a very heavy touch, though, from Tavernier, but he was expecting his keeper to come out and get it. I actually think that Butland did the right thing, because that ball wasn't really for the goalkeeper yet. Tavernier had underplayed it, and he's still going to try and tell Butland that, but the goalkeeper, I think, is going to be within his rights there. Yeah,
I think Butland made the right decision. So many times we'll see goalkeepers rushing out for that because they're panicked, and of course miscommunication between the defenders and the goalkeeper doesn't help in those situations where, of course, they both feel like they're in the right, but if Butland sticks to his guns, even if the Panathinaikos man can take the ball away, he's still in a good position to make a save.
It is, and it'll be Butler now to take the free kick. There was a foul on Aarons there as he was trying to turn at the edge of his own box. He was brought down, so a free kick to Rangers. Long clearance here from the tall Rangers keeper out towards the edge of the Panathinaikos penalty, headed away by Kostsiras out for a throw to Rangers, and Russell Martin is getting some paperwork ready, so potentially he might be thinking about a second change here, just the one so far, with Gassama coming on to replace Curtis, and within just 90 seconds Gassama gets a goal for Rangers that puts them back in the driving seat here in this European tie. Aaron's now with the throw. He's been told, I think it's either a foul throw or the referee's punished him for stealing about 10 yards from where the throw-on should have been taken. I always say it's the easiest defence to get away with on a football field, where the throw-on's meant to be taken from, but obviously this Italian referee is hot on this one, so it's a throw to Panathinaikos now. Giannis Kotsiras. Bakasetas is now sending a strange ball up in the air, easily won back here by Rangers. It's Dowell back towards Rothwell and Deja. Back to Kieran Dow on that right-hand side. Left footer likes to be on that right-hand side. Gets that ball in towards Diamande. This is what we didn't see enough of in the first half, and this is good to see. Rangers just getting that midfield involved a bit more. Yeah, they certainly are. They're progressing the play well. They're trying to knit together one or two, maybe even three passes. Gassama trying to run through there, and he's almost clattered into by Kotsiras, but the free kick's been given the way of Panathinaikos, and Rangers certainly looking more comfortable. Yeah, Kotsiras using his experience there. He knows that if he's running in a straight line towards the ball, then any kind of contact on Gassama, he'll be entitled to fall over, and the referee is likely to give that as a free kick, which is precisely what's just happened there. But we can see a double change being prepared here for Panathinaikos. Just trying to see who that is. It looks like it could be Gnezda Serin, number 16, and I think I saw the number 10 there as well, the Brazilian Tete. So potentially a bit more spice in that midfield and attack as well, which of course Panathinaikos need right now. Yeah, they certainly do. They need fresh legs on the pitch, and they need new ideas as well. Of course, Brazilian, always known for the dribble and always known for their progressive carries of the ball. It is Serin, it is Tete, and it looks like two positive changes for Panathinaikos. Yeah, absolutely. The first one is going to be, it looks like that was number 27 we saw, so this may well be the right back, Giannis Kotsiras. He's going to go off to be replaced by Gnezda Serin. It looks like Gnezda Serin, it's going to be him to play. Alexei Gnezda Serin is going to have a chance now to push a bit further forward. I can't imagine that Adam Serin is going to try and stay in that defensive position, as Bakasetas with that yellow card as well. He's off to be replaced by Tete. I think Bakasetas had his best moments in the first half, really, didn't he? We didn't see as much of him in the second. He gave a couple of balls away as well. So it doesn't surprise me maybe that he may be one of those sort of impact players, an influential player that has either a good half hour at the end or a good hour at the beginning of a game. But back to the action here now. It is Rangers in possession in their all-white chain strip this evening. I suppose their blue would clash with the dark green that Panathinaikos play in. So now with back now towards Ndija. Now down the right-hand side goes Diamande, playing that one back in towards Tavernier. Tavernier exchanging passes here with Rothwell. Tavernier hits the deck, but he wasn't fouled, and we play on. It's Tete's first touch of the ball. He runs straight into trouble though, loses the ball, and he was fouled. I wasn't too sure if the referee was going to give that free kick in the end, so certainly Raskin a little bit frustrated, but it's not too much in that one, really, is there? No, it's certainly not. He's gone for a reverse step over, trying to shift onto his left-hand side, and maybe that's why he's got a little bit of contact from Raskin, but certainly not too much to, especially not this referee's, the way he's played this game, certainly not up to the standard that we would assume would be given a free kick. No, but here comes a good chance though for Kyriakopoulos down the left-hand side, running straight into trouble though. Just playing it back towards the edge of the area. There's a good strong challenge there though, and the ball will go out for a throw to Panathinaikos, although a bit of a frustrated look there on the face of Diamande. I think he expected he might get a free kick. And taken quickly, and they're exchanging passes now at the edge of the area. It's Ioannidis. He's trying to turn and get a shot away under a bit of pressure, having to go back towards Shiravella. And now it's with Kyriakopoulos again. Tete turning at the edge of the box. He turns, he's fouled by Tavernier, and that's going to be a free kick to Panathinaikos in a decent position. Yeah, Panathinaikos needing the opportunities to get back into this game, and this is going to be a great opportunity for them to do so. Of course, Juricic getting a little stab into the back of his foot there from Diamande. He's gone down holding his leg, but he's back up now, ready to possibly take this free kick. He's actually headed towards the penalty area, and it will be Tete standing over the ball, looking to put this into the box. Yeah, we've got certainly got players to aim for here, Tete, and Panathinaikos need that second goal in this game, really, just to sort of wake up and get closer to Rangers again. There's going to be a Tete with the left foot. He lifts this one towards the back post. It's a good header as well. Coming in, it just gets us. In fact, looking at that, there was a good ball into the box from Tete, but then the header coming towards goal from a Pelistri. It's almost like he's spooned it up in the air rather than going towards goal. Here come Panathinaikos again. A ball played out towards the right-hand side, but that one is out for a throw. Good challenge there from Rothwell. Under a bit of pressure as a quick turn now. That's a good ball into the box. It's a bouncing ball as well. It's so close. Really whipped into the penalty area there by Tete. And I tell you what, that was not too far away at all. A lovely ball in.
Certainly wasn't. It was a really good ball in from the Brazilian, and he's tried to put it in that back post area. Again, Butland, we've seen this earlier, he doesn't want to commit to those balls. Instead, he's dived towards where the ball's going to go in the hopes that he can smother it away. And again, neither of the two players running in towards the back post, Maximovic or Ioannidis, can get a touch on the ball and direct it goalwards. I think if they could, it would certainly be a horrible time for Jack Butland.
Certainly would be, as we're over the three-quarter mark in this game. 17 minutes gone. We're going to get a bit of injury time after all these earlier stoppages, but it is 17 minutes gone. It's 1-1 between Panathinaikos and Rangers. Rangers lead 3-1 on aggregate. It will be Dale to take us through to full time. Jack
Butland with the ball in his own penalty area, of course, as he plays it out towards Aarons. And then a little bit of skill there from Rothwell. Unable to pull it off, he was, and it eventually goes out for a Panathinaikos throw. Then once more in towards Tete. He's been very lively since coming onto the pitch as the ball is passed out towards Tuber. He strikes it from miles away from the goal. And Jack Butland didn't seem like he had that covered.
No, well, his positioning's been a little bit suspect for a few incidents this evening, Jack Butland. We'll see where this strike comes in. I mean, he's diving across. I'd like to think if that is onside there from Tuber, he should be able to make the save. But maybe there should be a little bit more from his outfield team as to actually close the shot down in the first place.
Interesting to see the shot coming in from Tuber. He's not found himself in many advanced positions in this game. Maybe just a sign of frustration developing from the centre half, of course, as well as the entire Panathinaikos side. I think more shots on target should be coming, trying to test Jack Butland. Of course, he's already made the one mistake in this game, and that one wasn't too far off, but Tuber has made the mistake of giving a Rangers free kick here on the halfway line, and they'll play it backwards all the way to Jack Butland in his own half as he clears it long and trying to find Dowell on the right hand side, but unable to do so as it goes out for a Panathinaikos throw as Kyriakopoulos takes the throw in towards Tuber. Just crossed over the 71st minute as we're of course approaching the 90th minute mark in just under 20 minutes, and that time trickling down for Panathinaikos to get back into this game. They'll need 2 goals just to go to extra time, let alone progress in the game. But that's a lovely ball over the top towards left hand side for Juricic. He sees his teammates in the box, he tries to put the ball in, but it's well deflected behind by James Tavernier, the Rangers captain, as Panathinaikos see themselves with yet another corner.
Well, it's Panathinaikos all the way now. That's what we expect really until the end of the game. Rangers perhaps, I mean, I like the idea that Rangers are playing a very high offside line, but it's just encouraging Panathinaikos to get into that space behind them. Yeah,
and it's a dangerous game that they're playing, of course, with the pace that Panathinaikos have shown that they have, and of course the 2 offsides that they've had with their ability to time their runs. Rangers gearing up to make yet another substitution, as it looks like Jefte will be making his way onto the pitch. Just a question now as to who he'll be replacing. The medical team are back on the pitch, and we're not quite sure, we're not yet to see who that's for. And players make their way over towards Russell Martin to get some more words of wisdom. Rothwell, Raskin and Danilo all in that side of the pitch, and Jefte's made his way onto the pitch, but still yet to see. It will be Dowell, Kieran Dowell, the man on a yellow card, to make his way off of the pitch. So maybe not necessarily the most offensive substitution, but certainly one to keep the fresh legs.
Yes, absolutely, and Jefte's got something to prove here as well. He'll want to make a good performance, as we see Dowell there applauding those Rangers fans who will still be very pleased with how this game is going. Less than 20 minutes of regulation play to go now. Rangers still 3-1 up on the tie, but here come Panathinaikos once again.
Yes, Panathinaikos with the ball, and it is Tete on the ball, unable to keep the ball, but of course it was taken off of him illegally by Raskin. A tug on his shirt and then stab to his feet meant that there was nowhere for Tete to go other than the ground. And Raskin's a little bit cheeky there. I think he's lucky to get away without receiving a yellow card, as the referee just makes sure the wall is, of course, at the required distance. Both Tete and Juricic standing over the ball.
They are, and they're just discussing what to do. My money's still on Tete hitting it with his left foot, but the Rangers wall have got 4 men in it, and Butland is just trying to position himself as well.
Maybe 30 plus yards out from goal. Tete runs over the ball, lays it off for the number 16 to take the shot. It's actually Seren who took the shot in the end, but it just hit the wall as opposed to what I'm assuming he was hoping to find a gap in between it, and unfortunately for him, unable to do so. Easily collected by Butland, and Rangers back on the ball in their own half. Rothwell out to the right hand side for Tavernier. He's surrounded by green and white shirts, so he's forced to play it back to Giga and then back to Butland. Can't make a mistake here, the England goalkeeper, so he's played it out to the left hand side for Jefte. And Raskin will collect in the midfield. He's got two options out on the left hand side. Gassama, he's got Jefte on the overlap, decides not to use him, goes inside. Raskin slips on the ground. Questions of the slippy surface yet again.
Frustration, though. We were so full of praise for Gassama when he scored that goal straight off the bench, but there it was the wrong pass, and even the wrong pass wasn't even properly executed. Everything was wrong with that one, really, for Gassama.
Yeah, really unfortunate for the substitution. Of course, no one can argue the impact he's had on this game. He's stoked the flames of the Panathinaikos resurgence as Palmer Brown has the ball ready to take that throw in, and Panathinaikos gearing up to make two more substitutions.
Absolutely, that's right. The Croatian defender Jedvaj is getting ready to come on, as is Polish striker Karol Świderski. So we're going to wait to see who they're going to be replacing. It may well be just a straight swap of Ioannidis. Looks a little bit like he's run his race in this one, the Panathinaikos captain. So it may well be that Świderski is getting ready to come on and replace him.
Certainly looks like Panathinaikos need an injection of pace, an injection of ideas, as they're struggling to win the ball back fairly, but they've done well here to win it back on the left hand side, just on the edge of the penalty area. But the pass there in towards Juricic just over hit, kept inside by Diamande, and Tavernier having almost a 50-50 battle with Cherin there to keep all of the balls. It goes out for a throw.
It does. It'll be a throw on to Rangers down the right-hand side, but if they think this is going to give them an opportunity to have a bit of respite, it won't, because they're going to be put under pressure straight away. Now we're going to see Filip Juricic go off. Karol Świderski is going to come on to replace him. So for the time being, Ioannidis is going to stay on the field. Świderski can play as a wide forward as well. He's normally one of those off the bench to join Lewandowski for a second half when he plays for the national team. Palmer Brown is off, though, to be replaced here by Jedvaj, so that's just a freshening up of defence, you would imagine.
Just keeping those fresh legs in the side for Panathinaikos. If Rangers were to get a fourth goal on aggregate, that would almost certainly see the game out for the Scottish side, as Danilo pressures the defence, trying to win the ball back, but not overcommitting our Russell Martin's side, as Panathinaikos, they're forced all the way back to the goalkeeper. And a short pass in towards the midfield, not dealt with well by Chirivella, and a poor pass out means that Gassama can pressure the new substitution, of course, of Jedvaj, and make sure it goes out for a throw for Rangers. As Rothwell, he plays the ball out towards Gassama again. He's got that overlap of Jefte. Does he use him this time? He does. Jefte looks to put the ball into the box. It's a low ball into the box. It's actually a good one. The issue was that no one ran for it.
No one ran for it, no, and there was just, I think, if anything, that ball was almost too good, because it was so close to the 6-yard box that there was no Rangers player who was tracking it close enough to actually get anywhere near it. I think that Pereira's been so starved of service this evening that he's almost having to play as a sort of attacking midfielder rather than a striker, so he's perhaps just a little bit off the pace when balls like that go into the box. But Rangers still have a chance here down the left.
Rangers with the ball with Raskin. He's got an option in Jefte. He's faced up by two green and white shirts, but he does well to get the ball into the box. However, Danilo doesn't have the stature to win it in the air. Diamande trying to hook that between the two Panathinaikos players, unable to do so, but Aarons does retain possession, drifting out to the right hand side, faced up by Kyriakopoulos, played back once more to the captain Tavernier, back to Rothwell. It's a poor pass from Rothwell, a relatively easy pass for the number 6, and he's unable to do that, and then he goes in for the challenge as well. Very late was Rothwell, I think, again, a second time that a Rangers man is very lucky to get away with without a yellow card.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lunge that from Rothwell. I mean, I suppose the argument is he is trying to get the ball, but he takes a lot of the man there as well. There's Joe Rothwell, so say the referee just quite happy to hold on for now, as we can see the Rangers staff just handing another bit of paperwork there to our fourth official. So Russell Martin's preparing for yet another change.
Rangers certainly looking to hold on to this 2-goal lead as Panathinaikos look to bring it down. Tete on the ball in the midfield, surrounded by white shirts, so he's forced to play it back into the path of Maksimovic. He's taken up a more defensive position to allow Seren to take up the offensive one as he picks the ball up on the left hand side, does the substitute. Ball into the box, dealt with well by Raskin, but he looked a little bit unhappy with how he dealt with it himself as it goes out for yet another Panathinaikos corner.
Yeah, well, every player like Raskin was always going to try and look for a slight improvement. He probably would have hoped to try and hook that out for a throw rather than a corner. But safety first. The main thing is to get it out of the box. And now it's going to be an outswinger here from the left-footed Tete.
Tete looking to put the ball into the box. We're used to a more direct, powerful approach from his corners. This one hooked into the air as it's bouncing around. Seren looking to take a shot on goal, but it's just blocked away. Falls again to the Brazilian on the edge of the box. He looks to put it into the area, headed on by Raskin, easily held by Jack Butland. And at this point in time, Panathinaikos have to ask themselves, what more can they do to really test the goalkeeper? How many times have they had those opportunities and it's just not fell for them tonight?
No, it hasn't. They've struggled this evening just to get that clear shot on goal, and they're paying for it now because, they say, Rangers less than 10 minutes away from injury time and then looking to try and get through this tie. But they can't stop yet. They said they just lose the ball in midfield. Panathinaikos want to come again. Yeah,
Seren with the ball, played it out to the right-hand side for Pellistri. He's done well to maintain this pace for 80 minutes. He's, of course, petered off a little bit, maybe in the last 10 minutes, but he's always been a threat to this Rangers side. Unfortunately, unable to get the ball in the back of the net tonight, and two substitutions readying themselves to come onto the pitch for Rangers, Dessers and Bajrami. We'll get confirmation of who they're replacing shortly. It looks like it will be 99 Danilo to make his way off of the pitch, and Dessers, the number 9, to replace him. And of course, Bajrami making his way onto the pitch. He's an attacking midfielder in his own right. Of course, can play other positions, but that's of course where he thrives, does the number 14. As it seems as though Rothwell will be the man to make his way off of the pitch. Maybe Raskin more than happy to sit a little bit deeper.
Yeah, I think so, but that doesn't surprise me, that double change. I say getting Cyril Dessers on the field just gives Rangers that's a slightly different edge up front, or they really have struggled to give any kind of service to their forwards. But if they're going to do any more defending towards the end of the game, Dessers is a bigger frame, so he might be more useful in defending a corner or a free kick towards the last few minutes of the match. Just a bit more of a physical presence. And as far as the other change, well, that doesn't surprise me either. I think that it's just a case of just freshening up that midfield a little bit. But here come Rangers now with half a chance.
Rangers on the ball, but it's a wonderful tackle from the Panathinaikos man. Tuba does well to get down to the ground. Quite a long man as well, so he did well to make sure he didn't take any of the Rangers man with him. Dessers, of course, already looking to have an impact on the ball. Two-footed challenge from Tuba, but he executed it well. Panathinaikos coming forward on the right-hand side. Pellistri puts the ball into the box, cleared away by Sutar. Away maybe shouldn't have been the word. Up into the air, and an easy collection from Jack Butland. But Rangers, as they have for the entirety of this game, aside from the big mistake from Jack Butland, they've dealt with it well.
They have. I mean, it's been a sort of strange game because I think Rangers will be frustrated with the lack of midfield possession they've had. But then at the same time, they would look at the fact they've conceded a bit of a sloppy goal. They've had a couple of half chances to deal with, but actually, there's not been too much from Panathinaikos.
As Jefte finds himself on the ball, Panathinaikos still looking to come forward. Still hope that they can get back into this game. A long ball over the top, looking for Ioannidis as he picks it up, but he's very wide, is the Panathinaikos captain. Played back in towards Jedvas, and then a ball over the top, looking for the man on the right-hand side, Pellistri. He's unable to get up into the air and bring it down, so it will go out for a Rangers goal kick. And we're starting to see the Rangers men starting to touch their legs and make sure that they're not cramping up, of course. Maybe a little bit of game management from Russell Martin's side. as Ioannidis, he makes his way off the pitch, and it will be Szczerbakowicz to replace him.
It will be, and Szczerbakowicz is just on the field now, just to give Panathinaikos a little bit of fresh legs towards the end of this game. But we've just got 6 minutes to play now, so it's got to be now or never really for the home side.
Panathinaikos running out of time to continue their travels in the Champions League, and Rangers looking to make it past this stage, of course, as Butland takes this goal kick. It's a long goal kick, looking for Desses on the edge of it, but unable to find him. A header away from Serin, and then Szczerbakowicz to get it away as well. Serin back on the ball, played out to the left hand side for Maksimovic. Once more for Chirivella, and then Tuba, and then back to Serin. Out to the right hand side for Palistri. He's faced up by Gassama, and then trying to find Tete, but he gets really unfortunate with the way the ball bounced. Did the vice captain, as it's gone out for a Rangers throw on the near side, and we're getting to that point of the game where neither Rangers player is in any rush to take any of these set pieces. No, they're just trying to see out this game now. We're going to get quite a bit of injury time. I mean, that VAR check for the Panathinaikos goal, I think that took 3 minutes all on its own. And then we had a couple of injuries. We've had a Rangers goal. We've had multiple substitutions. So I'm thinking a 5 or a 6 is going to get displayed once we do get to 90. And that's why Rangers are doing what they can just to try and slow things down here now. Certainly seems to be the case, as a ball over the top towards Gassama sees himself running through on goal, and Szczerbakowicz has to face him up. He's got the underlapping run, doesn't use it, instead tries to find Raskin on the edge of the box, but again, poor decision making from the substitute as Tete finds himself on the ball, unable to hold on to it. Raskin's done well to win it back and dish it out to the right hand side for Bajrami, and then to Aarons, who's taken up that right back role close to Tavernier, as they're both almost occupying the same space since Jeff Day's come on that left hand side. Bajrami back on the ball into Gassama, back to Jeff Day, looking to put a ball into the box, a similar ball that we saw earlier with no one to attack. This time Desses was in that dangerous area and Maksimovic had to get it away. It was a good challenge there for Maksimovic, because as you say, it was a good ball in. And if Maksimovic isn't there, then Desses had a really easy finish from just 5 or 6 yards as well. But this is good news for Rangers, with 3.5 minutes of regulation time to play. They win themselves a corner. So it's just a case now of, to say, a few more seconds to take the corner and then try and get a good ball into the box. Certainly could be a big opportunity for Tavernier to assist what would be the final nail in the coffin for Panathinaikos. But as time goes on, that nail's getting further and further in said coffin, as Tavernier looks to put the ball into the box. It's a high lofted ball in towards the back post, but no one really challenged for the ball. It's eventually bounced out for a goal kick. Jakowski looking to dish it out quickly, decides to play a short pass into the path of Kyriakopoulos, but a poor pass from him means that Jeff Day can win the ball back. And then Panathinaikos win it back once more. Number 29, Jeremy Jeff, with the ball in towards Serin, but poor touch from him. Raskin comes away with the ball. He looks to clear it long, but gets a touch off of a Panathinaikos man, which means it is a Rangers throw, but it's a Rangers throw in a dangerous area if Panathinaikos can win the second ball. Well, that's what Rangers are going to try and do, is to win that ball back straight away. But Desses, as he turns, he felt as though he was being fouled. The referee agrees, and that's another good decision there for Rangers. He's been a handful since he's come on, Desses. That was the idea. The idea was for him to come on, to be difficult to deal with. I mean, we can see Tuba there saying that he got an elbow to the face, but actually the free kick went against him. Yeah, the free kick went Rangers' way, and of course they'll take their time to take said free kick, as Raskin offers a short option. Instead they choose to play it to the centre-back Sutar, and then to Giga. A cheeky pass in towards Raskin, easily picked, but Raskin will take the ball off of Tete again, and that's a lovely pass there from Raskin into the space, but well read by Szczerbakowicz, and Panathinaikos will play a long ball over the top, looking for Palistri, throwing the kitchen sink at it, if you will. Panathinaikos back to Szczerbakowicz, and a ball into the box, and it's a poor shot there that just has to be better from Chirivella.
No, it does. I mean, he's been sat back as the most defensive midfielder all evening, and there's probably a reason for that, because as soon as he gets his chance at the edge of the box, he has skied. I mean, in fairness, the ball does flick up off the turf just in front of him, and he actually looks down at the turf as well, but wasn't a particularly good finish. We can see 15 efforts from Panathinaikos, just 6 of them, just over 1 in 3 is on target. I suppose Rangers' return hasn't been much better. They've had 6 efforts, only 1 of them's been on target, but it found the net.
Yeah, 100% success rate for the shot on target. Of course, Gossamer making a difference within 90 seconds, and it could be one of the most important goals in the 2 games, of course. It really almost stumped the momentum that Panathinaikos spent so long to build, and they've just not really recovered it since. But Seren will win a free kick on the halfway line. Just under 30 seconds until the 90th minute. Still Panathinaikos 1, Rangers 1. Of course, that is 3-1 to Rangers on aggregate as Pellistri comes forward on the right-hand side. A ball into the box. It's a looping ball. Luckily for Jack Butland, the curve was going away from the goal. Ball comes back into the penalty area. It comes to Tete on the edge of the box, and it's a Panathinaikos man who blocks the shot in the end, but it didn't look too much like a dangerous shot.
Szczerbakowicz gets in the way, but I don't think that was going on target area. That previous ball in, though, I mean, it was misjudged by Butland. We saw him in the first half doing well with crosses like that, but this one just seems to surprise him. The board's gone up, and it's only 5. I thought there might have been a 6 or a 7 there, really, for all the time we lost. I mean, the VAR was 3 minutes all on its own, but it's 5 minutes, and certainly Rangers won't care. The less time, the better.
Yeah, Jack Butland with the ball once more in his hands, and we'll just get another look at that attack there. Did look very close to the goal, Jack Butland. Very lucky to, well, very fortunate to come away without conceding another one. The fact that it came off of the defender and spun the other way, I think he'll be thanking his lucky stars for that. But Panathinaikos have found themselves with a free kick here, and if they can get a good delivery and get another goal, it would certainly set up an interesting final 3 minutes. Of course, we've still got 4 left. Counting for the time, the ball has to come into the box, and it's a good delivery from Tete, headed away well by Raskin, and for one of the possibly shortest men on the pitch, he certainly has a leap on him.
He does. I've been impressed with Raskin this evening. He's put in a very good performance here, the Rangers midfielder, but now a fabulous ball to pick out Tete on the right hand side.
Yeah, Tete brings it down well as well, puts the ball into the box, and it's deflected away, and Raskin will come away with the ball. His tired legs trying to make it up the pitch, and that's a lovely pass in towards Desses. Desses looked like he was onside. Desses takes the shot, and that's a brilliant save, diving to his left from Dragowski, rolling it out once more. And of course, if Panathinaikos can somehow manage a comeback, you'd have to thank Dragowski for that.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a very good save, but he opens up his body, Desses. He's signalling what he wants to do with the ball, but he didn't put enough power in it, allowed Dragowski to make the save. But here come Panathinaikos now. It's a bit of a scuffed ball into the box there from Facundo Pellistri, and that's an easy save for Butland. Just 3 minutes to go now.
Yeah, and Butland happy to not pick the ball up until Jeremy Jeff came over obligatorily to, of course, challenge for the ball. Butland was happy to leave it resting there until he had to pick it up. He looks to throw it out, now does the goalkeeper. Calls from Jeremy Jeff that he was holding on to it for too long, but as he was looking away, the striker, Butland placed it on the ground, and almost mind games from the experienced goalkeeper. As a long ball over the top, you can only assume was for Desses, even though it was nowhere near him. He was the only man in white in the Panathinaikos half. He has now been joined by Diamande and Gassama, but Panathinaikos have the ball once more. Kyriakopoulos with the ball in towards Jeremy Jeff. It's a good touch from the number 29, but unable to take a second touch, and Jack Butland again more than happy to hold on to the ball until he necessarily has to kick it away.
Absolutely, yeah, just squeeze out a couple of extra seconds. Des is chasing a ball. I think he might be doing it from an offside position, just looking at the linesman. No, the flag doesn't go up, so that does go out for a throw to Rangers in an attacking position. So that's great work there from Cyril Desses.
Yeah, Desses does really well as to get in behind number 21, Jevaj. But not only that, even if he was offside, he almost didn't touch the ball. Of course, he would have interfered with play, so he timed his run well, but Jevaj didn't know that, and Desses refused to actually touch the ball, which means Rangers won the throw. Jeff Day with the ball in his hands, just over a minute and a half left of the 95. A long ball over the top, looking for anyone in green and white, but no one's there to pick it up. Jeremy Jeff has to chase the ball and pressure Butland, but Rangers certainly at this point, job done.
Yes, they'll feel as though that from here, for them to not get through the tie as it stands would be something quite incredible, because we've only got a minute of injury time. Rangers are 2 goals up, and Panathinaikos, as much as they're trying, you can see that their sort of heads are starting to drop a little bit as well. So it's been a good performance from Rangers. I think that they knew it was going to be a difficult ask. They came here to Athens and played a decent first half in terms of trying to stifle Panathinaikos, responded superbly or having conceded early on in the second half, and I'd say over the 2 legs they're the deserved winners.
Jack Butland again, just using his time well to make sure Panathinaikos man has to press him, has to chase him down before rolling it out into the path of Tavernier. And a little bit of a keep away with the ball for Rangers now. They're just seeing out the clock, making sure that they win this game. I think even at this point they could take the ball up top and maybe even try and attack once more. It'd be less risky than passing it around the back, and Jack Butland receives the ball this time, has no issue getting it away quickly.
He does it, but with the fantastic control there on the right-hand side as well from Bayrami, just to keep that ball in play for Rangers. In the end, his pass further forward is cleared out for a throw, but we've had the full 5 minutes now. Yeah,
and the referee does eventually blow his whistle. Panathinaikos players go down onto the ground, joined by Rangers players. Of course, 2 very different emotions for the reason of doing so, but a goal early on in the first half for Panathinaikos, that gave them hope. Of course, Juricic, after a lengthy VAR check, he'd put them ahead on the night and within 1 goal touching distance, but Gassama almost instantly responding to put them ahead by 2 goals on aggregate and making sure that Rangers advance. At the end of the night, Rangers won, Panathinaikos won.